Have you heard about inverse vaccines? They could potentially be the next big breakthrough for treating autoimmune diseases like multiple sclerosis, type 1 diabetes, and celiac disease. But what exactly are they? How do they work? And which companies are leading the way? Let's break it all down in today's video. Welcome to ShareTreck, where science meets investments, and I'm your host Raj. And today, we are diving deep into the world of inverse vaccines, a novel approach that might just transform how we treat autoimmune disorders by retraining the immune system itself. Also, I'll explain why this could be a big risk factor to both CRISPR Therapeutics and Vertex, two companies that are creating type 1 diabetes therapies. Let's get started. To understand inverse vaccines, we first need to grasp what goes wrong in autoimmune diseases. Every cell in your body displays ID badges called self-antigens. These are proteins that essentially tell your immune system, I belong here, don't attack me. Think of them like employee badges in a secure building. In healthy people, the immune system learns to recognize these badges and leaves those cells alone. But in autoimmune diseases like type 1 diabetes, multiple sclerosis, or rheumatoid arthritis, the immune system malfunctions and starts attacking cells with perfectly legitimate ID badges. It's like security guards suddenly deciding that certain employee badges are fake and attacking anyone wearing them. Unlike traditional vaccines that teach our immune systems to attack harmful invaders, inverse vaccines do exactly the opposite. They teach the immune system to recognize specific self-antigens, that is, the body's own proteins or identity badges, as harmless. Naive T cells patrol the body waiting to be activated. To convert these naive T cells into regulatory T cells or Tregs, they need to be encountered by the self-antigen in a non-inflammatory environment like liver or spleen. Unfortunately, if they are encountered outside of this non-inflammatory environment by the self-antigen, those very naive T cells will become attacking T cells, which will attack any cell that has those identifying antigens and kill them. So the problem is that an islet cell, which is in the pancreas, cannot encounter a naive T cell in the liver or a spleen in a natural manner. The other problem is that the vaccine has to securely hide the self-antigen and deliver it into the liver or spleen without alerting naive T cells in the bloodstream. Once these two problems are overcome, the naive T cell becomes a Treg or a regulatory T cell and helps suppress the autoimmune response that wrongly targets our own tissues using the self protein. Tregs patrol the bloodstream, and whenever they encounter T cells with matching receptors for self-antigen, they interact with those T cells to calm them down and prevent them from attacking the self-antigen. Right now, inverse vaccines are in development for autoimmune diseases such as multiple sclerosis, type 1 diabetes, celiac disease, and rheumatoid arthritis. These therapies promise more specificity, fewer side effects, and the real potential for long-lasting remission or even a cure. Key players are shaping this field right now. The first one is Autoimmune, founded out of Dr. Jeffrey Hubel's research from University of Chicago. It's a Swiss clinical stage company with a unique liver-targeting delivery platform. Autoimmune have two main vaccines in human trials, CAN101 for celiac disease with phase 2 positive top-line results announced early this year, and this company is backed by Pfizer, showing strong promise. The other therapy is ANK700 for relapsing, remitting multiple sclerosis, which completed phase 1 trials in late 2024, demonstrating safety and biological activity supporting immune tolerance. Autoimmune is also developing early-stage type 1 diabetes vaccines. The other company I would like to talk about is CTX211 Therapeutics from Norway, which delivers inverse vaccines targeting APCs or antigen-presenting cells. Their multiple sclerosis vaccines is currently in preclinical and early clinical stages, with plans to expand clinical development in 2025. They have a strong financial foundation and are building partnerships to drive progress. The other companies, Core Pharmaceuticals, that is COUR, Core Pharmaceuticals, based on Northwestern University research, and it's developed a nanoparticle-based inverse vaccine platform. They secured a high-profile partnership with Genentech, which is a Roche subsidiary, in a deal potentially worth over $900 million, showing significant big pharma confidence. Their lead product, CNP103 for type 1 diabetes, received FDA clearance for clinical trials starting in 2025. CORE is advancing clinical studies in myasthenia gravis, primary biliary cholangitis, and celiac diseases in partnership with Takeda. And it's demonstrating an active and broad pipeline. Their manufacturing is scalable and strong, and they have a strong regulatory experience backed by investors like Bristol Myers Squibb, Pfizer, and Roche Venture Funds. We expect detailed phase 2 data for Enochion's CAN101 very soon, which is a crucial step towards phase 3 and regulatory approval. For ANK700, upcoming trials will determine if it can truly modify the course of multiple sclerosis. Nykode aims to provide clinical updates in 2025, potentially accelerating its programs and partnerships. Now, let us look at some of the challenges and advantages. The biggest scientific hurdle is identifying disease-specific autoantigens and tailoring delivery system for each condition. But unlike complex and expensive gene therapies like CTX211, inverse vaccines can be manufactured more affordably and at scale via protein peptide or mRNA platforms leveraging established vaccine production processes. This is the biggest challenge for CRISPR Therapeutics and Vertex, in my opinion. If these inverse vaccines are cheap and easy to administer, then CTX211 and similar expensive therapies may find it difficult to get a foothold in the market. And again, these are my personal opinions. And if you have a different opinion, please mention that in the comment section so that our community can get an idea of alternative views as well. Currently, neither Enochion nor Nykode are publicly traded on major US stock exchanges, meaning these cutting-edge therapies are still primarily in biotech development stage. If one wants to get exposure to these opportunities, then the indirect approach is through either shares of Roche or Bristol Myers Squibb, and these companies which are actually participating in these programs. Inverse vaccines stand as a promising targeted therapy with power to retrain the immune system safely and effectively and selectively, potentially changing the way we fight autoimmune diseases forever. With big pharma backing and exciting clinical progress, the next few years will be critical to see if they can deliver on this potential. Friends, if you found this deep dive helpful, please be sure to press the like button and then subscribe and hit the bell icon for more updates like this on cutting-edge biotech innovations. Thanks for watching, and I'll catch up with you again in the next video. Bye for now.